Recently, a handicapped man was shot in the chest by seemingly an individual who was apparently outraged. Well, I'm going to show this video from three different videos, starting with the first one here. Tyrone Bowman Live, welcome to the program on this afternoon. The first video is courtesy of Sheriff Lamb, titled The Truth About Seattle Shooter Gregory Timm. I want to warn you, this video is somewhat graphic in nature, and some of the language is crude. So that is the disclaimer. So I'm going to get down to this right now here. Let's talk about exactly what happened down in Seattle. Was this a provoked attack, or was it a racist attack? You be the judge. Let's get right down to it. You know how I do it on this end over here.
Boom, fires one shot. Self-defense?
Wait a minute, ladies and gentlemen. Let me start this video again because I forgot to turn the notifications off. All right, here we go.
So he charges towards him, pulls his gun, boom, fires one shot. Self-defense or attempted murder? Now we're going to be looking at a video today that is, you've probably already seen it. It's a guy shooting a guy in a wheelchair and it happened in Seattle. But we're going to break this video down today. And at the end, I want to know whether you think it was self-defense or whether you think it was attempted murder. So let me lay out a little backstory to it first. But I am going to show the video. And I want to warn you, there is graphic language and it does show somebody being shot. So just that's your warning. And the video we're going to be using is from the Typical Liberal. So just to set it up, there was an altercation where this guy, Gregory Timm, is confronting the guy in the wheelchair about stolen valor, which means he's pretending to be military when he's not. And then he ultimately, when the guy reaches for an ID, he snatches a patch from him. And then that guy in the wheelchair grabs a knife. And this is kind of where the video picks up. They're having this confrontation. Let's take a look at the video. So he charges towards him. Now, what he's reaching for is a gun that's holstered. It's actually an airsoft gun. But I don't believe that Gregory Timm, the shooter at the time, knew that this was a airsoft gun. And trust me, folks, I've been in these situations. It's not easy to tell whether it's a real gun or an airsoft gun. So you don't see the gun initially. So when I first saw this video, I thought, the shooter's cooked. This is attempted murder. But this is what happens. He's reaching. It's taking him a second to reach for the gun. He gets it out. The shooter now recognizes, pulls his gun, boom, fires one shot.
All right, everybody.
Now he's telling everybody, all right. And now he's going to ask the guy for his ID, which is odd.
Show me your ID. You got on me.
But now he mentions that he pulls a gun on him. I didn't see that initially. And this is a different angle where you do actually see the gun. Let's take a look at this angle.
Show me your
Why he racked the gun, I don't know. Whether it was out of battery.
gun on me.
He puts his gun back, so he must not think he's a threat anymore. But when I look at it, he's still a threat because the gun is still in his hand.
All right, everybody. I got you.
So he's telling the people he pulled a gun on him. And here's where you kind of see, let's get a good close-up of this.
All right, let me stop this video for a minute because I don't like to talk while the video is on. I'm going to do this one time and one time only. We're watching a video. Apparently, it seems to be in self-defense, apparently, because I don't know if it's in self-defense or not. It's about a handicapped man who was shot in the chest by seemingly an individual who questioned his authenticity of him being a veteran. Somewhere along the line, an altercation occurred. The other guy, Gregory Timm, he pulls out a gun, he shoots the man in the chest. That's the basis of it. As I said before, I have three different videos I'm going to show. This is the first one. Is presented by Sheriff Lamb. Let's get back to it.
Battery.
Gun on me.
He puts his gun back, so he must not think he's a threat anymore. But when I look at it, he's still a threat because the gun is still in his hand.
All right, everybody, I apologize. Pull the gun on me.
So he's telling the people he pulled a gun on him. And here's where you kind of see, let's get a good close-up on this. If you look there closely, you can see in his right hand holding a gun across his chest. So now when I see this, I think this looks like self-defense to me. But I wanted to dig a little bit deeper. And I don't know if you have seen this part of it. But this gentleman, Gregory Timm, the shooter, he's now 32 years old. When he was 27 years old, back in 2020, he had an incident in Florida. He got angry and drove a vehicle because he, by his own admission, he hates Trump, drove his vehicle into a tent where they were signing people up to vote. And so he takes and runs his vehicle into this tent. The police got his phone, and he shows them the video that he took of himself driving into the tent. And the part where he actually hits the tent, the video stops, and he actually tells the police that he missed the good part. Like that part cut off. So here's this guy. Clearly, he's got some mental health issues. His hatred drove him to drive his vehicle into a tent. Now, you might be saying, well, why does he have a firearm now 5 years later? That's what I was asking myself. Turns out he was charged with aggravated assault on a person 65 or older. And he was charged, went to court, but ultimately he ends up getting charged with mischief, which is going to be a misdemeanor. He served 60 days in jail. And because of that, his gun rights were not revoked. Had he been charged with ag assault, it would have been a violent felony because he tried to hurt somebody else and likely would not have been able to get his rights restored. But in this particular case, he's charged with mischief. It's reduced down to that, and he ends up still maintaining his gun rights. Fast forward now to just this recently, and he now has this altercation with this guy, pulls a gun out. Clearly, I think there's some mental health issues here. And he takes it and shoots this guy in a wheelchair. While I think there's a plausible claim for self-defense because that guy did pull out a gun and had a gun in his hand. Turns out it was an airsoft gun. Now, Gregory Timm, the shooter in this recent event, has been arrested and remains in jail on a $750,000 bond. So what I would like to know from you is, do you think this was self-defense or do you think it's attempted murder? Make sure you like this video, subscribe, let me know what you think, and we'll see you next time.
All right, Sheriff Lamb, thank you for your side of the story. Now, a couple of things here I'd like to say before I sign off and bring on the next video. I don't think this guy has any mental problem here, and he looked more like a Nazi than anything else from the picture that I could see. And secondly, if this was a quote-unquote an air gun, who is this dude that he should demand that somebody show him their ID? That sounds more like somebody from MAGA who's running around, half-hinged. And you can't set up the scenario here that this is a plausible situation where Gregory Timm, who's now out on $750,000 bail, you can't set it up as if he was being attacked or being approached. He's the one who initially approached the dude in the wheelchair. So, tell me, what do you think? Let me go to the comment section. Guido Planet says, so he's an unhinged fool with violent tendencies. You know what? I agree with you. There's something not too bright here. And depends on who drew first. That's another good side of the argument. Now we got to find out from a different video exactly what's going on here, why did it happen, when did it go down, and Let's go down into the past of Gregory. He seems to have a tendency for violence and a propensity to start trouble. All right, never surrender, never quit.